Hello, hello. Oh, that was sudden.
What do you mean?
I don't know. It's like I was kind of waiting for some, musical indicator that, oh, you are soon coming in.
Yeah, so that was the 1 minute and a half of intro music, and then we were supposed to start at 5. It's 5.
Okay.
I don't understand what do you mean it's sudden. Sorry, Kevin, we agreed to do this live stream today at 5. Were you not informed about that?
Yeah, I was. It's just that, I was like checking things around, just like waiting, vibing to the music, and suddenly everything started. Am I blinking on your camera as well?
Okay, so I don't know. It looks good on this screen, but when I watch ourselves on this like YouTube, I'm a little bit blurry. So actually, let me check the audio levels on that one, and I will be right back, and you can just like talk.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, explain everyone what this is about, okay?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Do a good job, please.
To everyone joining in right now, hi, most of all, and mostly importantly. So this is not just a show. This is also a conversation about current state of technology, news in React world, and everything else that you might want to talk about, because your comments are visible to us as well, and feel free to also drive the conversation, because as I mentioned in the beginning, it's not just a show. We are here mainly for you, for dear peoples who are listening right now to the stream. So my name is Kevin, although on X you can find me at Kewin. This is Łukasz, and on X you can find him at help me.
You can find me at Łukasz_app.
App?
App, APP, yeah, like app.
APP.
Oh,
sorry, I was doing so great. I was so professional for.
No, that's great. I love how you said that we are doing this for like all of you folks that are listening and watching this. Actually, I'm not doing this for anyone that is watching. I'm doing this for myself because I love spending time with you on the live stream and learn new things. So like for me, this is 2 hours every week when I learn new things, and it just happens to be live. It just happens that that I'm forced to do it live instead of me not doing it at all, right? Because like if we were not live, it's I wouldn't say that I wouldn't do that at all, but maybe not as extensive, right?
Okay,
So
makes sense.
this
Well,
is 2
in
hours
those
every
terms,
week where we learn something new.
yeah, in those terms, yeah, you are quite correct. I do it also for myself. Like nobody's forcing me to do it. So it's not like people are going to be, you know, lynching me in the comments if I decide not to. So in those terms, yeah, we are doing this for ourselves. But
Although, if you have some lynch comments, please bring them on.
What?
Yeah, like lynching comments. If you have
yeah.
any comments at all, we encourage you to just write them down.
Of course, beef is always fun to read about and to talk about, especially like technical related beef.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of spilling the tea and gossip and stuff like that, but well, I've never done that on stream, so it might be more fun that way when there are more people involved. I don't know.
Okay.
And also,
with that introduction,
and also, I bet the whole world is now very heated, and I don't mean any particular technology. It's just extremely hot. Hello, hi, good to have you here.
Hey Furkan, I think we have someone from 1850s joining the chat. That's great. Where's your time machine? Is
Maybe
that a Beethoven picture or whatever?
I have no idea.
If I had to guess, Furkan, you just stole a picture from Beethoven.
To be honest, it's so hot, we might be as well hallucinating that.
Okay, let me check the audio levels once again, and I will be right back, and we will get into the... It is Beethoven.
Yeah,
yay,
you are correct.
Point for me. I'm not keeping the score, but I guess the first profile picture today.
Well, if we are keeping the score, then I have one score for Łukasz not being able to actually use Tailwind to programmatically implement a function that will rotate something in CSS. I mean, he did that, but it was a cheat. It was a hack, basically. So I'm not sure if I'm willing to give you points for that.
I was actually thinking about this today, about how we ended the last live session that we had 2 weeks ago, and about this challenge. And I would say that I solved the challenge with the proper API.
You brute forced it. You brute forced it.
No. One of the solution I had to brute force it, but the other solution was just using proper.
No, that was a brute force.
API.
You basically.
Should we show it to everyone?
Yeah, it would be the best. So
okay. Can you explain the
yes, let me describe the problem. So, Tailwind, although I love Tailwind, I use Tailwind a lot. It simplifies stuff for me. I learned how to read it fast and efficient, and how to write all of the styles with that. But Tailwind has one pretty big issue for me. It's basically parsed once you build a project and you run everything, and it's being let's say deployed with specific set of styles. So if you are trying to create styles on the run, it will not work, because for instance, if you would create a function that will let's say you want to print a pie diagram, right? A pie chart, and you want to rotate it a certain amount of steps. So in a function, you have eight slices, each one rotated by, I don't know, 40
So I have it here.
degrees.
I have it on the screen, Kevin.
Yeah, something like that. And the problem is that if you would just pass the call to rotate an amount of degrees in a function, it's being run in the runtime. So Tailwind doesn't provide you with correct CSS styles to rotate that in a wheel.
Well, it does.
And here is my problem, because you basically declared variable in CSS in runtime.
Mm-hmm.
So you still used style. Like it would be even better if you don't have to use it like that. You can just add style and add rotation as a
I know.
So that's why I consider it's cheating, because my main issue with Tailwind is that there will be cases, and most probably those cases are around animating stuff, generating stuff in runtime, etc., where you won't be able to just use class name. You will have to use style and pass the style directly. So that's my main, let's say, beef with Tailwind. But besides that, it depends on the project and depends on the situation, but I am more than willing to sometimes use styles, but mostly use the class names, etc. So it's like you have a multi-tool that doesn't cover one specific scenario. So it's like a small drawback, but it's something that everyone should be aware of. Because I spent quite a lot of time trying to rotate stuff, and the biggest problem was that I was doing those rotations, but if you then do something interactive on the page, it might work because it will like send you more CSS styles in the background. So
Okay.
it was kind of
Let's
annoying.
agree to disagree. Like this is a proper use of CSS. Like CSS, I just declared variable in the style style property. Let's leave it for now. Maybe
So that's a
today
tie,
we'll
basically.
Sorry.
That's a tie.
Okay, let's leave it as a tie for now. So today we have a completely new set of topics. I'm not gonna share what topics are yet. We
Ooh.
have newsletters to go through. We are still waiting for Mike. So let's maybe start with
He likes to have this, dramatic entrance.
dramatic entrance, yeah,
Yeah,
theatrical entrance.
Yeah, at some point you will just hear ba ba da ba.
Well, we will play some music for him. Let me
Oh.
look at the. So how about this? No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's like preparing for a big entrance.
yeah, for like a superstar Callstack CTO.
And his name is Mike.
Mike, we are waiting for you.
Yeah,
when
if he
when
would-
you're ready, just let me know. I'm gonna.
If he
play
would
the rock
join
music.
right now, it would be so amazing.
But he's not here, so let's just do without him, right?
Sure.
So how about we open the first... So the reason that we moved this stream to Thursdays is because the best newsletter in React and React Native world, this comes out on Wednesdays. So it gives us like one day to go through it and see what's inside it. And what's inside it this week is... Remix, Next.js, TurboPack, Radix DOM, templating, Ultrasite, Stack, StyleX, MUI, Nitro Week. This is nice. Nitro Week. I'd
Okay.
love to talk about this with Mike. Skia, App Generator, I wanted to talk about that. Swift, Kotlin, blah, 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 blah. A lot of things. Like, a lot of things happened in the React and React Native world. So, this newsletter is...
Oh, there's something about 3JS. Nice.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So
I'm a huge fan of 3JS.
This newsletter is categorized in React and React Native parts.
Okay.
And then we have some other, and then some fun, and then sponsors. And this is brought to you by Sebastian Lorber, Docusaurus maintainer. I had a pleasure to meet him. Amazing guy. He's doing this newsletter for I don't know how many years now. Definitely more than 4.
I mean,
Probably.
it should be kind of easy to figure it out.
Really? So 241
divided by 7 because it's
52.
weekly.
So 4.5 years.
If our calculations are correct.
So that's more than 4. Okay. So let's get into it. He says it's been a hot week here. I can agree with that. It's right now 32 degrees Celsius in
Yeah.
Warsaw.
In case, like at some point, you might think that I changed the t-shirt because it will be much darker, but it's because like I'm already
Okay.
sweating so hard.
I need to interrupt you right now.
Huge
Who
entrance.
is this? Who is joining the stream?
Is this who we think it is?
Yeah.
It's
Oh, you guys are so funny. But yeah, thank you for the intro. I did make a special haircut just for you today.
Nice.
So it
That
still
was
matches
nice.
that every time I see you, you have a different haircut.
Thank you.
And different style.
Honestly, I tend to be late quite a few times, but this is the first time my welcoming was so nice. So I do appreciate that. It's amazing. I love it.
And we also like to just like play around for the first 10 minutes. So it's
Yeah,
good.
first
It's
10
good that
minutes.
you're here. We are
Okay,
actually
cool.
just starting to read the newsletter. So I explained how this newsletter has 2 parts, React and React Native. And which parts do you want to start with, Mike? Should we go to React Native
Wait.
part?
Well, I only have an hour, so maybe we can somehow time box it. I think there's only like 5 items from the React part, React Native part. Wait, what? Is it me?
Yeah.
What?
You said that the world would be a better place if every newsletter was as
Oh yes,
informative as this week
I
is
do
with
agree.
React.
But am I really like am I hard coded there or it's random on every refresh?
No, I actually saw you here when I was browsing through it today.
I
Insane.
saw
So
you as well.
yeah,
So maybe
it's here.
there are
Okay.
some specific tags.
See, Seb is lovely. I love him. That's amazing.
Yep,
Oh no, it was someone.
you are here on the
Oh yeah.
anonymous
Nice.
mode as
Although
well.
it's hard to say it's me, right? Because I do look a bit different. Um, anyway, you know what's the reason for me being late? I wanted to upgrade my setup, and I purchased a microphone like last month. As you know, the Rode video whatever mic. I don't know, like fancy microphone. Then the problem is this microphone is so big that when I covers kind of half of the viewport here. So today I was like, I went to Amazon and I purchased the microphone stand because I was like, I'm just gonna put it, I'm just gonna fix it to the
Mm-hmm.
table and it's just
Like an
gonna lay
arm.
here. Yeah, like the arm. And the funny thing is that it just arrived together with another microphone. And when I saw it, I was like, okay, if I'm about to set it up, like I'll be late for at least an hour. So
But do you
um,
have a interface as well?
no, it's for the jack.
Oh.
I don't have it. I don't have it because I'm not sitting by the fully fledged desk. Okay, I have like this 40 by 40 square kitchen table that I eat breakfast with at every day. So if I place my 16-inch MacBook here, it covers 80% of the surface. So yeah, okay, whatever. That is my story now. I made an intro. You guys tell me what's up, and then we can start.
This is Nitro week, honestly. And I was really excited to have you here because I know that you know what's cooking under the hood in Nitro world. I know that you have a friendly relationship with Mark from
I do.
yeah, who created the Nitro modules. So we have like 3 different packages that are based on Nitro modules. So first one is from Mark himself. This is React Native Nitro Image. And I'm really excited to see image library because we had this React Native fast image for quite a long time in React Native world, but it has been unmaintained for quite a while now. And then on the Expo side, we have Expo Image as well. But like, I really wanted to see the like community image library again. And like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
This is React Native Nitro Image. So it says that Nitro Image is a super fast image core type and view component from React Native built with Nitro, powered by Nitro Modules, instant-based image type with byte buffer pixel data access. I need to decipher what that means.
That's just a typical Mark Rusavi language. Once you get to know him, it's just. But yeah, we'll dive deep into it. Let's continue.
Supports in-memory image operation like resizing and cropping without saving to file. I guess that's nice. I guess that's like something that you need for all of that camera like applications.
Yeah, I
Fast
think
web image,
as long. Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk about it
fast
later.
web image loading and caching using SD web image iOS and Coil Android, and then thumb hash for elegant placeholders. Like I love hashes as well. So yeah, it seems that this is it. You would use it as just like a regular image, right? Like the API should be quite similar, or maybe not.
Yeah, I mean there is a couple of differences, I guess. The first one that is very evident from the README is the use of thumb hash over blur hash, which is better performance. As always, every time Mark chooses to do something or use something, it's always faster. In this case, we're talking about better image size at the same quality. But the thing about Nitro that is super exciting, I guess, is actually two things. I mean, there's a lot, but there's two in particular that I like. The first one is the fact that Nitro has a very nice object-oriented paradigm. And I'm really surprised I'm saying this myself, that OOP is considered a plus. But if you think about it, it actually starts to make a lot of sense, because what really happens here is, and I'm purely guessing this right now before diving deeper into the code base, is that thanks to object-oriented approach that Mark is pushing here for Nitro, when you create say, on the previous page, we had those APIs for fetching an image object from a URL, if I recall. Yeah, like here. So what you get as the result here is a web image, for example, or file image. It is not an object. It is not a placeholder or some phantom
It's a place
structure.
in memory.
It's an actual object that points directly to an instance of a class on the native side. And what happens here is that class on the native side wraps as a property. It most likely points to either a buffer or a native image instance. So thanks to this, Mark can now pass a reference of a web image to an image component and directly just access that native image property of that instance and pass it to whatever is the actual native image component. So it's kind of like he can maintain the reference as he crosses the boundaries, which means he doesn't have to, like 6 years ago, serialize something through the bridge. But also, it means that he doesn't need to keep this static map like React Native does with the blob manager, where it has the hash of something like an object and an actual NS data value. And then when you want to get an instance of the blob, you need to use blob manager, get data for ID, right? And you're accessing the map. So this is different. Thanks to that, I'm guessing we can dive deeper into the code, is how he can offer those interesting manipulations, like convert to array buffer. This is a good one. It's natively supported through Nitro. So what happens, for example, here is you can convert, or you can actually get the buffer, the native buffer that represents the image. You can return it to the JavaScript side and represent it as an array buffer native. By native array buffer, I mean the actual array buffer that comes from the JS engine directly in the JS world. And then you can pass it back to the native side if you have a compatible Nitro API that accepts array buffer. So just to give you an example, the array buffer here, we can get an array buffer out of an image. This is most likely, without diving deeper into the implementation, most likely is going to be a and now I don't remember. There is two options. Either it's a copy mechanism. So when you obtain the array buffer, you will get a copy of the image. That's what most likely what happens here. So he creates a new array buffer of the image. But then if I have an API, and as you guys remember, I was working on the fast IO, I was also accepting array buffers through Nitro modules as an argument to my WSocket connection. As a send method, there was an argument of an array buffer. So thanks to this, Mark can obtain an array buffer from anywhere, typically from an image. And then without even talking to me as maintainer to maintainer, he could pass it as an argument. And suddenly you can send images through WebSockets thanks to that. So it's a huge abstraction, very powerful. And we don't have to deal with blob manager and stuff like that, like we do need to do with React Native today.
So, but when you describe all of those like different trickery, right, under the hood, like it seems like this library is not really meant to be just a simple image replacement. Like the API here suggests that it's more library more for like manipulating images and cropping images and like creating like maybe like those kind of tools as you have this in Instagram, right? So like you take the picture and then you process the picture somehow in order for it to like either upload or save or whatever. This is not really the API suggests that this is meant to be something like much more powerful than just like image replacement.
Oh yeah, it's most likely an image manipulating library, right? So I would say you can decompose it to three things. The first one is you have the primitive image implementation, and that is the actual image object, not this one, but actual image object you can obtain from one of those async methods. And by the way, I find it really interesting that Mark decided to use the suffix async. Some people use it, and typically from the Expo ecosystem. I typically not, but it's interesting to see that. Anyway, this is the first one. The second one is the manipulations, so you can resize, crop, so do some in-memory manipulations that you cannot really do otherwise. And here, it's an interesting thing. We can look into the implementation. Hard to say otherwise. But because he's keeping an array buffer, he can pass the image instance back and forth native and do the in-memory cropping without having to go to the file system, which is nice. Now, I don't know if that means doing an in-memory actual swap of an image or making another buffer. That one we have to check. But it's interesting. And then we have third option, third component, which is the actual renderer, so the Nitro view. That part I haven't played too much with because it's a fresh addition to Nitro, but it's meant to be as performant and as nice as Nitro itself. So then, as you can see, he just passes that object as a prop. And I'm 100% sure that if we go to the native implementation of the Nitro image, you'll just see there he's able to actually, that image corresponds to an actual image class from the native side. So he can access all the properties. So I'm sure it's super sweet.
So it looks like, and like I haven't read through the code as well, but it looks like we have like two different instances, like two different types of the component for rendering the image. One is Nitro Image, which will take the like image instance, like you said, and then there is Nitro Web Image that will allow you to pass the URL to it.
Interesting use of interesting convention.
Yeah, interesting API. So this one, the Nitro Web Image, looks more honestly like a regular image from React Native, where you will pass the URL object into it.
Yes, I would typically just do one component, but I'm sure there is some merit to it. Why don't we go into the Nitro Web Image implementation and see what's up? Because perhaps
let's try to get there. Nitro web image. So that just interface? No. Okay. So we have. Okay, so like as expected, if we put URL here, we will just create an image here, and then we will what? Return the Nitro image. So the Nitro web image is just a wrapper over the other component, basically.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you hear me correct? Because sorry, I was muted because I had to turn on the fan on the maximum setting. So I hope you don't hear any.
Yeah, we can hear the fan.
Are
That's
you
fine.
are you on like Alienware laptop with NVIDIA inside that you had to turn on the fan, or
I don't know. It's just like I'm dying. It's so hot. God damn it! Like it wasn't this hot throughout the whole day, and then I closed the doors, and oh, I'm dying. But I guess that this implementation makes sense because I like when library owners are giving you the tools to like make your own, to cook your own magic, but also give you examples of how to use those tools. And in this case, I can see that there is a Nitro image, and you can basically create the Nitro web image with just like those basic tools. So it's like nicely wrapped for your convenience.
Nah, honestly,
it is?
I think this is redundant.
What do you
It's
mean?
nice, but who's the author of this code? Check the blame.
How do I check the blame here?
The top
History?
top left. Next, yeah, it can be. Huh.
So that's Mark.
Mark, this is unlike you. I mean, I'm just kidding. But one thing about Mark, and it's I always love it whenever I speak to him about web standards, he's like, to hell with it, whatever is fastest. Interesting to see we have a web in the name. Although, yeah, it looks like this is more of a comprehensive higher order component with a lot of ifs and else's. And if we scroll down, where do we actually return the actual component? I think,
It's here.
yeah. So again, I think it's just a lot of sugar, and probably the reason for the name is to mimic the working of a web component. And let's go to the Nitro image in the iOS folder for a sec. So if you would go to the iOS hybrid, let's go to hybrid image view Swift. Yeah, this one. So yeah. So typically, yeah, one thing that is very distinctive about Nitro modules is the fact that they always extend a Swift spec, and that spec is generated through NitroGen, which is an equivalent of Turbo Module code gen. And then, as you can see, like I told you, you're keeping a class property image view, and that's an instance of a UI image view. And then every time there is an update image method called executed, which is what is it? Is the updater function that gets called when the props change. You can see that it is actually called every time, like you highlighted here. Every time you set an image property, we have this Swift setter, and in the Swift setter, what he's actually doing is he's just setting a image property of an image view, which is the UI image view that renders an actual view, right? An image. It sets the image property of the underlying UI kit image view to the UI image instance that comes from an image. Now, where is that image coming from? The UI image of the hybrid image. If we go to the sidebar, if we pull up the left sidebar again, and this time we go to the UI hybrid image, wait, hybrid image. Let's go to hybrid image Swift. One level up, 2 levels up. Yeah, this one. So basically, it's an equivalent, but it's a class. It's not a Nitro view. And again, here you can see on line 13, you have an UI image. So see, this is an underlying class. So when you pass an image on the JS side to the component, on the native side, you can access the hybrid image instance. That's why he can write image.ui image, and that's what he's accessing. And from this point onwards, it's really simple. Look at the 2RI buffer, for example. Sounds like a rocket science when we first learn about it, but it's a method that you can access from the JS side, and it's just accessing the UI image property on a class. So it's a kind of this.ui image, and then it just converts to RI buffer using the built-in methods. And then if we scroll down, I'm sure there's going to be some code for loading the actual image. Like we have resize, we have cropping, which is easy, right? But we also have saving image, okay. There must be a method somewhere here. Oh, I know where he creates those images. If we go to the hybrid image factory, that's where these APIs come from. So here you will see, since you cannot really instantiate a new instance straight from the JavaScript, like this is not supported. We discussed this with Mark last year quite heavily when I was telling him, Mark, you should have really let me write new hybrid image from the JS side. Mark was very explicit for many reasons that he didn't want that to happen. That's why in order to create an instance of a hybrid object, you need to do a factory class. And then from factory class, you can call an actual method. So here you have load from RI buffer. And as you can see, yeah, on line 80, we're returning an instance of a hybrid image. So that method, when you call it from the JS side, you receive a hybrid image. And then you pass that hybrid image instance to the component, and that's how you keep the reference. So it's a very smart system. Seems a bit tricky at the beginning, but it's pretty convenient. So that's really what happens here. As you can see, the beauty of this system is it is super simple, and it unlocks so many things, right? Like performance is massive, improvements are massive, and it's just few lines of code to crop and get an image instance, right?
So like going back few levels to Nitro Modules, when I think about it, it seems to me like this is Mark's own way of bypassing like React Native internals almost to like create it his own turbo modules, native modules implementation. How do you think like this parallel ecosystem will grow when we have already like camera from Mark, this image from Mark, then we have like two different libraries that we'll talk about today using Nitro modules. How do you like feel about this like alternative way of interacting with native modules?
What was the beginning of your question? Because I got distracted.
So like this is an alternative community way of accessing like of creating like native modules, right? It's called Nitro modules, but this is not a standard React Native way of doing that. The standard new way is turbo modules. So like I guess there is no question in that. It's just like what is your like thinking around this? Like
I mean, I always stand by the fact that we should have options, right? And every time somebody asks me personally, I think we need to have options. Always good to have it, always pushes the other alternative to develop faster. And we might be releasing something ourselves as well.
Are you using Nitro modules in any of your experiments?
Yeah, I mean, the two projects that I've done earlier this year, before I transitioned slightly towards less React Native Vue specific APIs, were based on Nitro. And honestly, I started implementing a WebSockets and blob, and these are already open. I mean, I really haven't pushed them too heavily because I didn't have much time, and they also worked for me back then. And the problem is once I start using Nitro, it's just hard to go back. But yeah, I think, one of the reasons Nitro was not considered a good alternative back in the day was because Swift interrupt that it's using to make those beautiful APIs was considered experimental. But I was told yesterday by the Swift contributor in a Twitter conversation that is no longer experimental. And when I texted Mark about it, he was like, "Oh, quite a news." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So I like it. What about you guys? Have you used it? What are your options? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like my question would be, should I start learning this? Because like you don't have to learn Nitro modules in order to just like use a vision camera, for example. You don't have to learn Nitro modules in order to use this library, right? So like the underlying architecture is more of a implementation detail for the users of the libraries. So should I get into this and like really learn what is a Nitro module, what is a hybrid object, and like try to create what what was the example of native module in React Native Docs? A toast on Android? I guess it was. So should I like learn this and learn how to create toast on Android side? I don't know. What do you think, Kevin?
Really hard to say because like I never dabbled into making like native libraries or native implementations. I mean, I did with one project, but we didn't use Nitro modules there, and I don't know if like it kind of for me depends like how complex are Nitro modules to learn, because it all seems quite a bit more straightforward than like native implementations, but it depends for me because you know currently with technology everything changes so fast and so dramatically that and especially that now I'm more into AI related stuff, and the
Are
question
you?
is like
Can AI be your girlfriend? Is my favorite.
yeah like I'm trying to be more into AI related stuff, and if I would be working on anything in native side of the mobiles, it would most probably be related to AI, so I would need access to the lowest level possible. And my question would kind of be, how much do Nitro modules allow me to access those low level, like, um, functionalities of native side? Because this is
So I guess maybe Mike can answer this. So I guess Nitro modules and Turbo modules from new architecture would be like interchangeable. So like everything that you can do with Turbo modules and JSI, you can do with Nitro modules, right? So I
I'm
guess every
sorry,
use
I
case.
got distracted. I got distracted again because my friend Grzesiek just texted me that he randomly joined this live stream and it took him 15 minutes to realize it's me. And he's like, "Guess you changed the hairstyle again." I'm like, I
So
had
I
my
guess
birthday
the
last week, so it's you're getting older anyway.
How old are you?
I will not disclose the age.
Okay, congrats
25,
anyway.
okay?
Like
25, thank you.
happy birthday anyway. So I guess like Nitro modules use case is like parallel to Turbo modules use case. So anything you can do it in Turbo modules, you can do it in Nitro modules and vice versa. Is that the first statement or not?
Mm, yes and no. I mean, again, everything you can do in turbo modules, you can do in nitro modules, but not everything you can do in nitro modules, you can do in turbo modules, okay? There is a
So
comparison on the Nitro Modules page. There is a comparison when you go there and you scroll to the bottom, you'll see the breakdown of the features.
uh,
And in the meantime, I'll just allow myself to present this beautiful comment from this nice guy. Thank you. This will hopefully activate a lot of comments so we get more engagement.
So where would I go? Where would I go to see that? So
It's a comparison with other frameworks under resources.
oh, okay, cool. So comparison with other frameworks, benchmarks, turbo modules. Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, when you scroll to the bottom, you'll see the breakdown of what's up, even to the bottom, like to the very, very bottom. Like just scroll to the bottom. Oh, here, yeah.
Okay. So there are
So
supported
as it's
types.
always with those beautiful comparison tables, Nitro is like green everywhere. What a
Yeah.
coincidence, right? But yeah, the biggest one, I think, like I said, is the object-oriented way where you can send the reference. Like this is huge. You cannot do that in any of these, I guess. I mean, there's a few other smaller details as well, but really, the first one is using Swift and having types. You cannot have types with Expo, and Nitro is just like super fast. I mean, in most cases, that is questionably important. You will not run into it unless you're building some crazy processing libraries, but it's still nice to feel like you're running your fast internals, right?
Okay. So I guess I learned something today about Nitro modules. I think I need to like dig deeper into those. Maybe let's go back to the actual newsletter that we started with.
Do you
So
know, do you
we
know, do you know why it's called Nitro Modules and why it has this logo?
because Mark
Because
likes fast cars as you do as
Yes.
well.
Yes,
oh,
that's why we are friends, if you still wonder why. We're the Beamer guys.
So there is a comment about that as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, Daniel, yeah, +1 to that. Uh, I actually am surprised this guy remembers. Like 3 years ago, I did say that I was going to move to the US and my plan number one was buying BMW as my getaway car. So it looks like people still remember. Kendall. Okay.
Okay, going back to this. So Nitro Week, we got to this. Like we know what Nitro modules are now. We got to this. So like we were discussing the Nitro Image, and then like there are two other libraries this week that are taking advantage of Nitro modules and like integrating them into their own internals. So one of those is React Native Video. So React Native Video is a video component from React Native. Like it's really well maintained. I think it used to be maintained by Software Mention few years ago, and then Vidlash Group took over the maintenance of this, and they are like maintaining it for the past 2 years, I think. So
I'm
this is
not
the
sure if it was software mention, but they did. I don't think takeover is the right name. They were just effective maintainers, so they just took care of the package.
okay,
But
okay.
the package was transferred to them because they were spending a lot of time and putting a lot of effort, which is understandable, right? So
I
for the lack
didn't
of
mean
better word.
anything. I didn't mean anything uh, hostile. You know, not hostile
It's
takeover. Like
okay. It's okay. We're
took
off the
over,
record.
as in took care. Yeah, let's say it like that.
Yeah, I
um,
think, it's all of these companies you just mentioned are from Poland, so I'm sure we can settle it down in Radom or whatever is in the middle of the triangle of Warsaw, Kraków, and Wrocław.
yeah. So this is the first pre-release version of React Native Video v7. We also changed whole video and player API. Okay, cool.
This is
Where can
probably
I?
because it is now object-oriented, which is awesome.
So we will see more of the like, sorry, more of the like imperative API. Do you suspect that?
Mm, I'd say less, right? Because you don't have to write factory that whatever. You can just probably have way nicer way of passing things around.
I'm trying to like see either the like blog post or like anything that explains this better instead
Yeah,
of
it's
just
here.
Okay,
where is it?
Mike, can I ask you two questions? Because
I don't know.
I just came back
You,
from my vacation and
yeah,
my
you
brain
were
is
sitting
still,
on that.
yeah, my brain is still kind of slow. And first question, if you could like couple of main points for Nitro modules, it's like, top 3 sales points. Why would or should I be interested in learning Nitro modules and using them to implement my next library?
Well, point number one, because it's made by our friend, and we support our friends. Just kidding. That's like point number 0. Um, I mean, like I said, object-oriented driven approach, which is very easy. You can return objects, you can pass them around. That's huge. First class Swift support with Swift interrupt that is much faster than Expo, and it is typed, which is great. And that really makes it easier. And then the third one, I think, is access to a lot of primitives like native support for array buffers. You can return an array buffer, you don't have to copy it, which makes things like blob or image easy to do rather than having this map, like I said, and the RCT blob manager, like that is no longer needed. You have first class support from promises, for callbacks. So even with the functions, it's just, keep a function as a class property and execute it. So generally speaking, that makes it very sweet to work with. And once you start working with that API design, you realize it is much harder to go back to Turbo modules. And another thing perhaps that I can add to it, like the fourth reason, is Nitro does some decisions for you under the hood. Like, for example, when you're picking the data types for your class, you just write number. You don't write int 16 or 32. That might be an advantage or disadvantage, but typically people prefer to just write a number.
To be honest, for now, like I'm trying to wrap my head around the differences, and it kind of sounds like Nitro modules to Turbo modules are like Kotlin to Java, or like Swift to Objective-C.
No.
Objective-C is arguably nice, okay.
I mean, it's just that like takes care for like more stuff under the hood for you, so you don't have to be so hyper aware of of the types conversions, etc., and it's faster and in the future more maintainable. But my second question is, if let's say I now currently have a library written in Turbo modules, should I take the time and rewrite it in Nitro modules?
I think, Kevin, your question really depends on what your library is doing. I would say in most cases you don't have to, right? But if your library is, for example, regarding WebSockets, where you have to deal with array buffers or things that Nitro does support, and array buffers are the biggest one. And because of missing support in the Turbo modules, you have to do a lot of annoying workarounds, then I would say it is worth it. However, you have to be aware that, Nitro is not included with React Native, so it's additional code. And it is not ABI stable, so every time you upgrade, you have to regenerate all that code, and all the libraries need to regenerate the code as well, I guess. And one of the reasons why Turbo modules does not support array buffers is the underlying interrupt, Objective-C to C++, which doesn't support them. That is my understanding. The Swift experimental back then interrupt that Mark uses under the hood is faster and does support it. And when we spoke to the meta team back in the day, their primary concern was that, we could do it one day and we will do it one day, but it is experimental, so we don't want to use it. Now that it's no longer experimental, I think eventually that will come. So the real difference from the long-term perspective is probably the verbosity of it. But again, if we're asking me for the status today, I would say if your library does rely on something that is heavy on the data, and I'm guessing in case of the video component, there is a lot of that, that can simplify things.
So
What is the
maybe
actual difference? I don't know if they posted benchmarks. Might be also
Okay.
a smart move from their side as well.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the currently like the biggest takeaway would be to like improve readability and maintainability of the code long term, thanks
Yeah, I
to
mean, it's just
types.
it's smaller, shorter, faster, nicer API. And also it allows you to do things that you cannot do with Turbo modules, which is just passing those classes around and having, in-memory properties on objects on the native side as well, which is really cool.
But wouldn't you say that using Turbo Modules, which is standard React Native API, gives you some kind of warranty that those APIs will be stable and like those APIs will work in the future on stable API, whereas using community approaches don't guarantee that necessarily. I mean, like,
Yeah, I mean, yes, but hey, come on, like this is React Native, I mean, if we didn't do it ever since we are here, we would be stuck on some legacy code that never developed. I mean, we have it right in our DNA to use bleeding edge stuff. Like to me, that's normal. I don't think this is disadvantage. And the good thing actually about Nitro modules is when things go wrong, I can just call Mark and we'll get it fixed, which is faster than going through the PRs. I don't think it's necessarily a problem. After all, it's just a proxy between JS and the engine. And we've been working on the NAPI support as well, that we are planning to release as well. And NAPI is going to be playing in the same league. And again, someone could say, hey, this is not stable, but that's the whole point. Okay, but stop interrogating me
I
about
found
that.
some differences. I found some differences on like the div between V7 and V6. So in order to install the React Native video, you need to install React Native Nitro modules.
Yes,
Uh,
which is the engine.
yeah, I know. Like, but is sorry, if I'm creating a library, can I just like do this, like add this as my dependencies in my packet JSON under my library, and this will install automatically? Why would I want my users to install this separately? Can you explain that?
Because React Native auto-linking doesn't support transitive dependencies, right? We could fix it, but we just didn't get around to it. But if you're using Expo and Expo linking, then it's not a problem.
Okay. Then very similar
I'm
feeling
surprised I know
to
answers
that.
to those questions.
Very similar feeling to that image example where we create the instance of player with the hook, and then we
Yeah.
pass this player to player view,
Yes.
as opposed to like just pointing to the URL of video.
So here you see the difference right there.
Yeah.
And previously that was not possible. The only way to do it would be to do it just like React Native does with Blob, which is if you would go to RCT Blob Manager, you would see, let's see if I can find you a direct link. RCT Blob Manager, not Blob Manager.
Okay, quick aside question because it's kind of bothering me, and I know this is a very noob question, and I know that I've been using this for quite a lot of time. Everyone was, but what actually is a blob?
No, Kevin, you're asking tough questions today.
Let's do this.
Because I've heard it so many times, like blob this, blob that, and casting types and changing to from buffer to etc. Like, what is a blob?
So, 1 second. First things first. First of all, I will send you the link here on Slack, so you can put it up on the screen.
Are you sending me this
Okay.
through Slack or what?
And yeah, I sent it through Slack. And regarding the blob, the full name is binary large object, right? And it's
Oh.
it's kind of a data type in the spec that represents the binary data, and it kind of wraps an underlying array buffer. And you typically receive blob when you interact with APIs such as file reader, fetch, right? And you get the blob, and
Mm-hmm.
with blob you have some options to manipulate the data. You can slice it and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, it's a representation for binary data, and basically that's it. And so when fetch API in React Native must return blob, it needs to return blob. And again, we would have to go to the fast.io package where I explain why the blob in React Native does not support everything, but that's what you get.
That's weird. I mean, that's weird in terms of because I've read so many times how different languages implement those like basic data types, and it kind of seems like blob should also be a basic data type. Just like under the hood, it's still like binary data, but it can be it's translatable to anything you want, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is kind of more complex than that, but blob is like a simple high-level abstraction to deal with binary data, right? So you can think of it as a scenario where you're dealing with the whole object, such as file. You receive file from the file system, and you want to send it to the network through the network through the post request, and you don't need to work with individual bytes, for example, right? Array buffers, for example, that blobs wrap, because when you get an array buffer, you have to wrap it. You have to wrap it with a blob object class, say, pretty much create a blob from array buffer. And array buffers are lower level, right? So you can access individual bytes, you can iterate through them, and do all sorts of different things. So it's just they serve different different purposes, and they address different needs. And typically, I guess, when you are in the Node.js environment, you'll see more of an array buffer because you're working more in a low-level environment. And then you will see blob when you interact with the post request, fetch, more web HTML5 environment, I would say.
Damn, I need to learn more about that. I think because I noticed that the lower level you like dive with your knowledge, all of the higher level abstractions suddenly become clearer and more obvious. And I feel
It's
like
because I have Cluely, or whatever is the name of this SF startup, on my screen. It gives me prompter-like answers to all your questions from AI. So
but
This is like
still
an
you
interview
spent
software, right?
but you spent much more time like with lower level implementations and lower level languages, and I believe that it gives a better understanding of high level once you understand all of that. So yeah, I still think that it would be a nice next step for everyone who is using abstracted.
maybe we should dive deep into it one day.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm totally for it.
so guys, I just wanted to quickly circle back to when you, Łukasz, said about having to install Nitro modules and that being a requirement. Like
Yeah.
like Grzesiek pointed out here, it's same situation. I wouldn't say a problem. Like, he also used quotation marks with gesture handler or reanimated, for example, right? Like we use them, so we have to typically install them every time. And we just kind of got used to it. So with that in mind, I don't think this is a disadvantage, although
Well, yeah,
reanimated is definitely more widespread.
I saw the pattern like not once, not twice, but like if you go to React Native, React Navigation, like the way you install it is you install like 15 packages at the same time to do that. Docs. getting started. So you install React Native, React Navigation Native, then you install React Native screens and save area context, and that's all. Okay, it used to be more than
It's
that,
less than
I guess.
15.
Okay,
Slightly.
so it's three. It's three. By a factor of 5, I miscalculated.
Okay,
But yeah,
let's
I know what
hurry
you
up.
mean.
Where are we?
Let's hurry up. That
We
was
will
the React Native
we will
review.
never finish half of this newsletter if we keep up this pace.
Okay, the third library, React Native Health Kit.
Oh,
This is the first time I'm hearing about this library.
Damn.
I'm not sure
Now
if
that
this
you remind
is.
me, I actually have to publicly say that it's on me. The author of this package reached out to me, and I forgot to respond to him because I was in Amsterdam. He wanted us to transfer him a package name because we do have a very similar npm package, React Native Health Kit, actually, without the prefix. And he was asking me if we could transfer him the name, and which I said yes, but I never followed up. So might be a good moment to do it now.
I think I
It's yeah,
created
the
package.
here.
I created
You
package
got it. You
about
got it
this
here.
as well.
You crossed it here at the top. Up,
what?
up, up.
Where?
Two up. One more up. This.
So this is us.
I think this is ours. Yeah, this might be ours from like 8 years ago. Or it's not
Nah,
ours.
that's from
Interesting.
Agency Enterprise.
I'll check because he did text me.
Okay,
Yeah,
I guess
he wrote to me. He wrote to me, and he was asking if I'd be let go with the package name of React Native Health Kit since it doesn't be to be maintained. Can you, Łukasz, check React Native Health Kit? Is it
And that,
really like who's the maintainer of that? Let's see.
oh, because that was the repo name. Okay.
Yeah, the npm. He wants the npm, right?
but that's
This
the
no, this is
one.
health. But add kit to the name and let's see.
He has both.
Maybe he reached
No,
out
no,
to
no.
someone
We need
else
to.
as well.
No, no, no. Maybe Pieszczała already gave it to him.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
No, he did. He did he? He didn't. I'm sending you it. It's me. 18 downloads. Shit, 10 years ago. I never actually did anything there. We just took the name. That was not very nice of us.
Did you even where is code? Okay, so you
There's
only
nothing
have
here.
packet JSON here? You don't even
Yes.
have bindings? No
But
bindings at
hey,
all.
come on, man. This is 10 years old. This is probably before Callstack was founded. It's like, it's crazy. I don't even remember the other guy here, Elliot JS. I mean, I briefly, vaguely remember him. Spencer Elliott, what?
I created this. I don't know what it is, but I created React Native Sport, which is like a bridge to HealthKit and the Android version of it as well.
Android has something?
Yeah, Android has like a HealthKit as well, so like you can take the steps and whatever. Okay, never mind. This one is unmaintained as well. I just like did it for a few months. So yeah, that's another library that is transitioning to Nitro Modules. This is like something I guess interesting to look out for in the future, that like we have this two separate ways of interacting with like native world in React Native, and like some libraries are choosing to go through this route. But like I don't know, why would you, in terms of React Native Health Kit, want to go through Nitro Modules where what you basically do is you interact with just like native SDKs, native health kit. Why would you go through? Why would you want to go through Nitro modules to do this? Okay, never mind. Maybe I will. King Stinct. If you are listening to me, maybe you can provide me the
It's
answer
actually a name
to
of a
this
company
question.
that has similar profile to us, but doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'll give the name either anyway. They're from Sweden. Nice.
What else? I wanted to talk about Expo Router AI app generator as well today. Uh, Maybe first let's give a shout out to our library, React Native Legal, that was created at Callstack. I guess Artur wrote a blog post about it, but original developer on this was Mateusz Luigi, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So shout out to Mateusz Luigi. I worked with him for a couple of years. Very talented developer, and Artur as well. I work with Artur as well. He's crazy
He's
genius.
got he's got a lot of great ideas. By the way,
Yeah.
can we spend a moment to appreciate how beautiful our blog is now and hopefully
Yeah,
readable?
I love it. I actually
Very
really like
professional.
how our website looks right now.
Yeah, it's very clean. Like it doesn't look like a page that is like most of the websites now I see are so cluttered with like everything, like from headers and like everything is just like jumbled. It looks clean, and the main content is like right here to read. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that as well.
So yeah, this React Native Legal is just like a utility library to allow you to create like license file or whatever that you would like show in your application,
Whole
which
UI,
library,
whole UI, whole UI.
yeah,
But the
which
recent
libraries are you
release is
using?
programmatic, yeah.
Yeah,
And it
which is I guess
also like yeah.
go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we're working on some cool stuff. Like the visualization is nice. We had this discussion with Arthur the other day that when sometimes you have like we're thinking about this open source openness score that describes how permissive your licenses are. And this visualization is handy, and that's what I'm planning to encourage Arthur to do is, when you sometimes, let's say, install a package, and let's say that package is MIT,
Mhm.
but it adds BSD3 under the hood, and suddenly your open source project might not be so open anymore. And I just feel like visualizing that, like, okay, these are the nodes that impact your openness a lot. That might be very interesting information to go through. Um,
That's actually
yeah,
that would be super interesting metric to add to GitHub, like openness.
exactly. I actually started to think with Arthur, and there is no such metric. And I asked ChatGPT deep research how they could scientifically calculate it, and it came up with some weights. So maybe we can make a formula for it,
Mhm.
something like that. Um, but yeah, now that Łukasz is gone, we're stuck on this beautiful animated video, Kevin.
Yeah,
So
but
let's
it's
let's
a
admire it.
yeah, but it's actually a very important and very underestimated topic, I think. All of the like licensing and the law around technology. I feel like everyone is like nobody is really paying attention to that, and this opens a huge doors like for future problems. Let's just call it like that. And I'm actually very proud that our company started to do stuff related to those licensing and law related topics for the community, because I feel like this is one of those topics that doesn't interest you until it's a problem, and once it becomes a problem, it's a huge problem. So yeah, it's a like what I'm not sure if that's a correct word to use here, but what inspired you, or what like pushed you to even consider pushing guys into the legal stuff?
It's so funny when you say what inspired you to create this like very boring and very useful library to display legal information.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying to be polite. So let me ask this in a more direct
Just be
way.
yourself, man. You are
Okay.
not polite in real world.
I'm sorry. It's so hot, and it's so like I'm abusing caffeine lately to wake up my brain, and I'm constantly sleepy. So let me be more direct. What project got messy and in terms of law and legal stuff, complicated and problematic in order for you to start working on this project? Like, what blew
I don't
up?
know. I don't know. Honestly, it's a good question to ask to Luigi and Arthur.
Yeah.
I think I just found out about it like 2 years ago. Somebody posted this on our GitHub, and I was browsing the GitHub the other day, and I saw it. And as I always do when I see cool project, I'm like reaching out to the guys, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Why it's not public on our GitHub yet? And so they were like, yeah, why not? Let's do it. And I figured, this might be a very good library and very good package in general for people to use. Like you say, awareness is something we could ever always improve. So to me,
Yeah,
that's just a good opportunity to talk more about it.
So if I create, like, I don't even know that, because like we already like work for like big projects that have legal team behind them usually, so we don't have to like worry about that. But me as like one person developer, like working on a project on open source, like not even open source project, but using open source technologies and like releasing something to Play Store, App Store, am I required to do this?
Yes.
To like okay. So probably like many applications out there are not compliant with this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like
It's not. Yeah.
like one of the issues I've learned quite a while ago, when you have the ARIA labels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that's what I heard a long time ago. If you have a website and you don't have all of those ARIA labels, and your website is not like compliant for accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
you might just get sued, and it will be an easy lawsuit, apparently. So there are plenty of those like small things that can really, really heavily bite you in the ass in the future. So yeah, it's super nice that we started working on those legal topics a bit more. Because I feel
Yeah.
like most of the community-driven and like open source libraries started happening because somebody created a thing because he had a problem or an issue, or tried to solve something, and then he was like, oh, maybe other people have the same issue or the same problem. So that's why I asked about what project blew up in order for us to start working on that, because I doubt it was like, oh, let's just come up with a problem and solve it. So there must have been waves that we noticed. And yeah, that's where the question came from. But on the other hand, to be also completely honest and completely transparent, crypto stuff is still not really covered by law in any way. So if you can legally scam people out of money, I'm not sure if having a license. Like it's of course 100%. It's still better to cover your ass and be prepared. But yeah, just as I said, the legal topics is something that nobody thinks about until it becomes a problem. And once it's a problem, it's a huge, huge problem and a huge mess. So it's better to cover your ground.
Yeah. I have to run, guys, unfortunately. Um, so I think I'll have to leave you both for the rest of the topics. I see, Łukasz, you're not happy. I'm not happy either, but because I'm in the +3
fine.
time zone, it's getting late for me, and I
Oh.
have some afternoon activities. I'm going to watch an F1 movie with Expensify.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I will have to run, but
Thanks
I
for
hope you will have
joining.
fun. Oh yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
Yeah,
we-
thanks
Maybe
for
actually,
joining.
maybe actually I'll join from the car. So if I show up here in about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, don't be surprised, although I'll be driving, so that might not be the
we
most
will. Sorry,
secure way.
let me do this. We will play this.
It's also an exit music now.
Guys, I love it. I mean, you know
Right.
how to make my day. I love it.
Thanks for joining.
Thanks for joining.
Okay, Mike's not here. So I started researching this. So it says it's legal risk of not disclosing third-party libraries in a native app. You can face significant legal consequences if you don't disclose. Blah blah blah. Understanding. So license compliant requirements. Every open source library comes with a specific legal requirements that must
Because
be
you know
followed.
the problem here is that if you are just, I mean, that's all my understanding. I'm not a legal expert. Can you quickly use AI to generate this like legal disclosure that if
Yeah.
somebody gets into trouble because of me, they can sue me? Just, cover your ground. Yeah, it's not a legal advice. It's not a legal advice.
Go
I
ahead.
have no clue, but how I see it, how I imagine it. People create open source frameworks, open source libraries, and they have fun with the code, they have fun with technology. And it's all cool. There is no problem here, right? But then, once the money is involved in any way, it might start to become a problem. For instance, if you have a small project just for your friends and your family, and you have some web service and some like accounts that people can create, and you have a small nice and tight project, right? But then it picks up on the interest. More people are now involved. There is some sort of monetization, and suddenly you need to take care of all of the security for the people that are using your app, the compliance with like Rodo and other. How is it in English? It's not Rodo.
GDPR.
Yeah, GDPR. Compliance with that, the money related stuff. So now you have to suddenly create a company and inform everyone that this and that person paid me like 10 pounds to create whatever. Like it suddenly becomes messy stuff. And then if somebody would like to, for instance, buy this app from you, now it's a huge problem, because then you have to basically go through all of the code, all of the dependencies and everything, and figure out if you can actually legally sell your app. Because as I mentioned, once it's open source and free to use and etc., it's cool. Everything's fine, everything's cool. But once the money is involved, the problems start. So I've got 99 problems and the license ain't one. But once the license is one problem, then the 99 problems are most probably related to the licensing. That's why like legal related stuff terrifies me a lot. Terrifies me a lot.
Yeah, me too, man. So, as React Native developer working at Callstack and having like a platform with this, with podcasts, etc., I get quite a few job offers. And like some of them are like, hey, can you like consider like spending some time working on our medical app? And I'm like, hell no.
Yeah. No, I'm
No,
not
I don't
touching
want to.
that. Yeah.
I don't want to work on any medical apps as a like as a part of Callstack. Yeah, cool. Like we have a legal team and like we have like compliance and like we know how to do those kind of things. As a one person developer, I don't want to work on any things that are
Yeah.
like this scrutinized, like the patient's data, blah blah blah, all of that. Like I don't want to mess
I've
around with this.
exactly. I've listened to too many podcasts and like security related topics and discussions to dive into that. Like, like one example, because there's this great podcast. It's called, oh my God, how was it
React
called?
Universe on Air.
Uh, it was called, no, it wasn't like specifically React oriented. It was Darknet Diaries. Darknet Diaries. It's such a great podcast. It mainly covers topics related to security, to hacking, and there's like dark side of the internet. Very knowledgeable hosts and very informative topics. But one one word of advice from me: you once you start listening to that podcast, you will become basically paranoid about the security on the internet. Like one of the things I remember, it was almost like the story you said, that people started working from home and somebody didn't have a properly secured Wi-Fi network, so some hackers were able to connect through their home router, and basically from that jump onto the, like, steal some tokens and jump onto the like main company servers, etc. Like it's terrifying. Or like one of the things that really shocked me, because there are plenty of places on the internet where you can like buy not like card numbers, like the card details, right? From like
I don't
cards
know
to,
those places, but apparently you do.
I mean,
You know that there are many.
there are. I'm just kind of like, it's not legal. I believe there are plenty of places. If you look hard enough, you will
Sorry,
find them.
Let me put this up again.
If you look hard enough, you'll find those places. But apparently there was this situation in USA. They didn't have those nice, like, terminals that will do all of the transaction stuff for you. So basically what happened was that once you put your card to the terminal, they had a computer in the office somewhere, behind the desk, that was getting this data, like this card information, processing the transaction and displaying everything. And this PC was gathering informations about the cards that passed through the store for like years and years. And they didn't clean it, they didn't secure it properly. And then suddenly, like, one of the workers figured out that, oh, we store like millions of card details on that PC. So he exported all of that and started selling that on the web. So it's kind of like
Nice.
yeah, but it's kind of like,
Good for him.
like those mystery boxes. Like you buy a bunch of card details, and then some of them are expired, some of them are very protected, or but yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
let's stop.
Yeah, sorry. I got
let-
distracted.
Let's go back to this. So there is a new package. Evan built an app that can build other Expo apps and website. This is Expo Router AI app generator. So it looks something like that. I love the video, man, by the way. Okay, so it says make a Pokemon app. And then...
But wait,
okay,
is this happening on the device?
I guess so. Look.
Yeah, I can see how you like the video, watching it sideways. Yeah, that's a great video. That's the best, super awesome video. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that video could have... So, like, this is use Expo Router and AI SDK and NativeWind styling. So, blah, blah, blah. So, OpenAI API key. I don't think
Classic.
I have OpenAI API key. Do I? So if I have
maybe not.
ChatGPT,
No. That's something different.
so that's something different, right?
Yeah. You can have like your dev account and plop your OpenAI key there, and it will work like that. But I'm curious, is this 100% code sharing, fully streamed response? So is this making an app on the phone?
Yeah, this is actually like changing the code, I guess. So let's try to like let's try to see what's inside. So I would go to what? To
Main app, I
App.
guess. Yeah.
so index chat. So components chat, and then my chat is this is used chat.
Okay, so I guess it's storing all of the code on your device, maybe.
Yeah, look, this is something like evaluate React code. So like you would have the chat. Oh fuck, what is it? So this is it. So that's what? Okay, that's the chat. So that's are the messages. This is too hard to like.
I mean,
to
no, wait,
decipher
because
from
what you're
GitHub
no,
only.
you are looking at weird stuff. Go to lib, because I'm curious what happens with the code. This is just all of the UI.
this
This
is
is for
so
displaying
like that's
stuff.
the text input, right?
Yes.
So handle submit. Let's go to handle submit.
Line 31 is getting passed
Okay,
from
so
use
this is
chat.
in use chat. So I guess we have to
Go to the hook.
to use chat. AI SDK.
Wait, what?
React.
Wait, so is this just a wrapper that gives you access to a chat, and it doesn't like, so you don't have an app, it's a wrapper. Wait, I don't want to be mean, or I don't want to be mistaken, but because what I'm curious about is what happens once you write this app. Let's say what happens on the you stopped the video too soon.
Okay, like that's it. So like I guess from the video,
Yeah, go to
seems
the
like I'm gonna pause, right? So like you use a chat component, make
Yes.
a Pokemon app, like you hit the OpenAI SDK or whatever with this.
Yeah, you're
like,
just chatting for now.
I would suspect that, right? So you get the response from OpenAI
Yeah.
about this like Pokemon app,
Yes.
and then somehow it ended up here, right? Somehow
Okay.
it
Okay,
ended
I get
up
it.
like injected into the actual app view.
Yeah, that's why you had
So-
this React parser or something like that. So I bet there will be inside the UI, there will be some sort of go to the enter the chat. Yeah, components, there will be chat, the syntax DOM. No, that's not that. Enter the UI. Because
So
this should
this is messages. So like
Yes.
this is the preview component. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
stuff that
And
we
it bundles
saw.
everything. But you can basically write apps in React, only with React, right? Or some.
So this is it. This is the eval code.
Mhm.
Then component is like this.
Mhm.
So that's the part that is actually
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't create bigger apps than just like one huge one file, because it doesn't create your repository, it doesn't create you,
yeah. It just
but
creates like one component that is like built with other components, I guess.
and you don't have
inside.
any access to any native stuff also, I bet. So
Well,
it would be kind of
the
impressive.
view itself is a native component.
But, you know, my skepticism aside, it would be kind of fun. Let's say you are with your friends and they're like, oh, I wish we could play Tic Tac Toe, and you wipe out your phone and like, create me a Tic Tac Toe app. And then you have a separate display where you have an app, like a working Tic Tac Toe, right? I bet it would be the same with like smaller games where you could just like wipe out your phone and quickly create a small one file app that works. So like it would be nice for, because yeah, it sounds interesting, but if I would give my my seal of approval, very important for everyone that would love to get it, a seal of approval. Can you later export somehow this code? Can you somehow get it out from the
It
preview?
says here, deploy on all platforms with Expo application services.
No, you can wait. Deploy on iOS. No.
Well, maybe
you can deploy the creator.
This.
Yes.
Yeah,
the creator.
This.
But what happens with the code? Can you somehow click
it's
export
just like
on the
a funny
code?
project, Kevin. Like this is just like a funny project. Like I'd love. Do you have a OpenAI APK key?
I can give you one.
Yeah. So let's do this. I'm gonna clone this.
Okay, I'm getting my. Let me quickly remember everything.
So
even if somebody would try to steal my token, I have
send this to me over Slack, and I promise that I will. I promise that I will try not to show it on the actual live stream.
Listen,
okay?
I will create a new token that I will remove after the stream.
Yeah, just remove it.
But let me first check if I have anything. If I have any credits on this account. Oh, what? Oh yeah, okay. I have like $3.
Okay, $3 should be enough.
Yes, let's have some fun.
Give it to me.
Give me the
Give
dollars.
me your $3.
Okay, I'm creating a key for Łukasz. Default project, yeah, sure. Permissions, read only. Copy, done. Sending you my keys on Slack.
Yeah. Okay, I have it. It's a long one as well.
Thank you, I've heard it many times.
Okay, so I have it here. I have it here. Cool. So I can put it here again. So I'm installing the app. Ensure that you set Expo unstable DeepL saver environment to the server. Blah blah blah. Okay.
No, but we're not deploying that.
Yeah, we will not be deploying anything.
Yeah.
So like I'm installing this. Let me look into package.json. So like start.
Yeah, just
Yeah, well, I will
start.
just start, right?
And I would like for it to create the Tic Tac Toe.
Yep.
I got hyped for Tic Tac Toe.
Let's open Android maybe.
And I'm just very curious. Do we have any amazing people in the chat? If we have amazing people in the chat, you can just write, I'm here. I'm curious if like, because I feel like we are going crazy over here. no interactions with anyone, and we are just like, no. I'm not sure how secretive we should be with all of those API keys, etc. Because we are trying to obscure everything, and if nobody's watching, then we can relax a bit. We can be more, less secretive, secret, less responsible.
Okay, let me check if my
Yeah,
simulator doesn't
there's
have
Łukasz
any-
in the chat. Hello, Łukasz.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Why are you hiding the app?
I need to like check if I don't have any like proprietary code on the emulator, you know?
Hello, Dhruv. Good to see you here. Good to see you here.
Okay. So this is it.
That's a very
That's
cool
the
name.
code connected to Expo. So, okay, so Expo chat. Okay, we're live.
Okay.
So what
So
should
any-
I do
Yeah.
now?
Lovely people in the comments. Any suggestions? We are testing bleeding edge technology here. My first go is Tic Tac Toe, and if it rhymes, double points for that.
You have
You-
insufficient permission. Check that you have the
Oh.
correct role. Reader, writer,
Okay, okay,
owner.
okay. I'm gonna give you more permissions. Edit, restrict. You know what? I'm giving you all permissions. Restart, and you are having all permissions now. So, Dhruv, we are now testing the AI builder created by Evan Bacon, and it's using Expo chat to basically create small React, I guess React apps in your phone. So currently we are trying to test the Tic Tac Toe, if it will build Tic Tac Toe for me. And I'm also kind of curious, how expensive will this Tic Tac Toe be?
I don't think it works for me.
It must work.
Create Tic Tac Toe app. And then if you're updating, I think I get the error here. So move data fetching. Please update the following components. Markdown. Oh, okay, okay. Something comes up.
Yeah, it built. Okay,
Something comes up.
but oh, we can see Tic Tac Toe.
Whoa, okay. It fucking works.
Okay, that wasn't the best opening, as you might know.
Yay!
Double win. Nice.
It works.
And
Come
now-
on.
Now, those are boring. If you could make the X's blue and the circles red. Dhruv said, "Oh, interesting. Might be cool to see if it's able to set up an entire theme based on a random 5 colors in NativeWind." you need to specify what do you mean by setup a theme. If you mean just like, copy and paste colors from the config, I bet it should be able
Look,
to. Nice, it works.
it works. Yeah.
So as I said,
It's a little bit rough around the edges, like this winner here, like the absolute view, the overflowing, but just the fact that it works is amazing.
Like a typical Tailwind theme that you might see in shading. Oh, Shatsian.
So we can't like I don't think we can modify the shell app. What we are like displaying is just like here in this absolute view.
Yeah, so it's basically like, it basically creates a one file that is being then passed through a function that parses it into a JS that is being injected into some sort of a web view or something like that. So yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't be able to create any like bigger project with multiple files that is being compiled to anything, but as a one file fun,
yeah,
well, it's pretty cool. Okay, I have another suggestion, but first I'm gonna check.
Give me a moment. So I'm gonna do red here and then border.
I have here my admin panel, and I'm curious about how much did it cost us. So I'm like I'm here looking at the money.
Yeah.
For now, we were five requests, 7,000 input tokens. What model were we using? We were using spent categories. GPT-4o, and it has cached input.
How much?
Okay, wait a second. Let it like update with everything, because you also changed one more thing. To create a Google Home. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna do that.
Do what?
Dinosaur game.
Oh, the Google Chrome game. Okay. And in the chat, let's also play a small game. Send your guesses. How much it cost? Including including the Tic Tac Toe.
It couldn't have been more than $3.
Because it will break, yes. So this is a small helper for you. It's not more expensive than $3. So shoot your guesses in the comments section. How much do you think we spent playing around with that? We created Tic Tac Toe. We edited Tic Tac Toe a couple of times.
What?
And yeah, and we created this amazing game. Oh, you won. That's a very hard level. Yeah, it has a border and everything.
Well, the border I set.
Oh, you set the border, so just to see.
Yeah, but like, it's amazing that it even does that.
Yeah, in the phone,
like,
right?
Honestly.
So if you would deploy that onto your phone, you basically have a small app creator in the. Okay, Gregor said 1 cent. Sorry, that's actually 10 cents. So $0.1 dollars. Let's set the cap for 4 to 5 guesses.
Okay,
4 to
just
5.
give me an answer.
Aren't you? I'm
What's the
making
cost?
That's a suspense. God damn. Okay. I'm giving you
What's
the cost.
cost?
I see that nobody is more interested into playing our little game, so it costed us 3 cents.
3 cents.
3 cents.
Wow.
Yes, it was 3
That's
cents.
low. Well, that Tic Tac Toe game was like really better than this one.
Yeah.
Was honestly
So,
much better than this one.
it was overall 7 requests because OpenAI now has cached input tokens. The cached input tokens were at $0.7, $0.007. Input was 0.006, and total for GPT-4o was oh no, actually it doesn't seem correct. Oh yeah, because it's input and output separately. So yeah, apparently caching really lowers the costs. They run into issues authenticating me, so I refreshed again, and yeah, it's okay. Now it updated, but still, it's 5 cents.
That's extraordinarily low.
Yeah, it's 0.05 cents for 17,000 input tokens. That's actually very cheap for GPT-4o. So yeah, that was surprisingly fun. Okay, I give my seal of approval. Yeah, almost. You're the closest, so you win. Good for you. Congratulations.
Grzegorz, you win.
Grzegorz,
What do you want
win.
as your reward, as your award?
You just won a car PNG. Not a legal advice. We are not Yes. Now, as a reward, congrats. You can look at car PNG. It was fun.
Should we talk about something else from the newsletters? So like preparing for this episode, I had the list of topics. So like we covered the first one, Nitro Modules wave. Then the React Native Skia. What's important here is they started supporting Lottie animations. So Lottie is this library that accepts the Adobe After Effects JSON animations and it plays it. So I guess you can do that in Skia now.
All I heard about Lottie is that whenever I say Lottie out loud, people for some reason get small heart attacks. Apparently,
why?
I don't know. Apparently, Lottie is like either very heavy or very like heavy on performance.
It's so fucking powerful, though.
I'm not saying it's powerful.
What Lottie is not really a way for you as a developer to build up the animation. It's a way for you as a developer to play the animation that like a graphic designer created for you, or that you downloaded from the internet.
Yeah, but what's like, isn't it basically the same thing as Rive?
It's not the same thing. Rive
because Rive has internal state machine.
Rive is much younger, and Rive can play Lottie files, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what format they are.
Okay, so like Rive is state driven, so it's not only like
because they have internal state machine.
It's more like they have state, right?
And it's actually very powerful and very fun. I never played around with the creator, but the animations themselves, like they allow you to do a lot of fun stuff. So I'm curious, but let's not get distracted. Skia now supports Lottie, So
Yeah.
Lottie is a file format.
Animation format.
Okay.
Lottie, what? Learn. Community, blah blah blah, forum. Okay, let's not get too much into this. You don't have to use React Native Lottie in order to use Lottie. You can use React Native Skia to do that.
Okay. And also, I believe
going
that React Native Skia gives you quite a lot of possibilities in terms of 3D graphics as well, right? Or like
3D. I'm not sure about 3D. It's more. I think it's more 2D engine than 3D
but you
engine.
get access to GPU.
So this is high performance 2D graphics.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So what Skia is, like, it's not even React Native Skia. What Skia is like graphics engine, meaning like you can draw directly to the screen with code,
Okay.
right? And then what React Native Skia is a wrapper for Skia for React Native. So like this is how you would like
Okay.
write to the screen, and like this is like React Native way of doing that.
Okay. So you can use it as a component?
You use it as a collection of components, actually.
Okay, so basically it's abstracted away canvas.
Yeah. Basically.
I was terrified by canvas for a long time, but then I learned it, and canvas is so much fun once you learned it. Like, it gives you infinite possibilities to create stuff. It's a very fun thing to learn. But in order to like properly learn that, you also need some linear algebra.
So basically you have canvas, and then you can like use collection of elements, and then they like overlap, and then the elements like when they overlap, they also like have this effect of like real world paint and whatever.
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because you can achieve exactly the same thing using pure canvas, but you would have to use a bit more like maths and you know, everything. So it's very cool to use because I bet you can also animate those, right? By just like changing the state of like X and Y values to make them move around.
Do you want to play around with it?
With Skia?
Yeah.
Well, if you have a connection with the cursor, then we might quickly generate some fun stuff.
Yeah, so let's add it to like a proper React Native project, right? And let me check how do I get how do I start, and should I create introduction, blah blah blah? No. Where is the get started? Okay. Without a framework. So I do this.
Okay, so my first intuition is generate a pizza.
Oh, okay. Let's try.
A pizza slice. No, okay, full pizza. And then we'll make it fly.
Let's install the dependencies first. Do you want to install CocoaPods? Yeah.
There should be a way to just run the project and pass like yes for all. There is a way to do that. Come on. What am I saying? I'm being dumb. Quick check if I didn't like get trolled by OpenAI. Okay, I'm getting curious because now it's 6 cents. So Grzegorz is getting surprisingly closer and closer with each refresh and recalculation. Because it's
so I have the cursor running. So then I go back to.
Can you just ask cursor to install Skia for you?
I don't want to do that. When I did
yeah,
that,
yeah.
when I did that with like NativeWind, it didn't work. So let's just try to close some of those pages, and then just like go with the installation of this. So yarn add.
Okay, so I think that we are stuck at 6 cents.
That's good. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm removing your API key.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me use your 6 cents.
It was fun.
I owe you a beer.
Yeah, thanks. Unfortunately, we used my 6 cents, and I didn't speak with any ghosts. You get it? 6 cents.
No, I don't get it. No.
6 cents. Wasn't that?
Okay, yeah, I get it now. Now I need to pod install again.
Yeah, 6 cents.
6 cents. Yeah, I know. That's the movie
Yes.
about ghosts. Yeah.
Yes.
Now I get it.
Don't spoil it for anyone.
It's like 20-year-old movie. Come on.
Best age to get spoiled.
Okay. So now I would do
It's alive.
yeah, it's starting up. So I'm gonna go to UpTSX. And
Did you update your machine? I
do you mean?
can hear the fans just like started spinning faster on npm run.
Yeah, because I do the npm run.
Oh,
okay.
it's building the app.
Yeah, it is building now. So I would go to hello world and let's just import this, right?
Yeah, would make sense. Oh, your Mac is working hard now.
And also I'm using the like standard microphone because like I have this one, but it's pain in the ass to have it
Yeah.
here and try to, you know,
Wait,
do all of that.
You mean you are talking to the microphone from your Mac?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
What's impressive?
How you sound.
Yeah, like it sounds, honestly, it's good enough for the live stream.
It's very
So
good.
like I don't want to like hustle with this, with the
But-
whole setup.
Like I'm talking to this microphone.
Yeah. It sounds great.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
I
is
got
it
this mic
too-
for free. This whole like headphones, I got them for free. I was surprised. I bought some external video capture card, and they came in as a like free gift. I didn't know I would get them. That would made it super sweet.
Okay, so I can just as well update the cursor. because the app building is still going on. I have
Yeah.
so many open. I have so many like fresh projects from these live streams. I could have just like opened any one of them,
Yeah, that's what I was
but
thinking. That
I
why don't?
always start from the scratch.
Well, at least you have everything fresh as the dependencies.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
it's a
maybe after we like make up all of those projects and we just like play around with them, and now I'm really pushing through on those comments. Would you be interested in like playing around with those projects as well? Because we can easily just like plop the link to GitHub on X or anything like that. So if after the stream you would like to just fetch the project, run npm run, and just like play with the project we are playing with on the stream, you know what I'm getting at. If you're interested, pop in the comment, because that's the best way to let us know that you're interested in something.
those projects are honestly like nothing.
You know what? I know what you mean, but in the same time, so
what
many
would be
times.
better? What would be actually better if maybe next time we can do the uh the
We can do the
the like the Microsoft Live code share, something like that.
What's
you know
that?
what it is?
No.
So where is my cursor?
It's right there on the screen. You moved it to the left, and now it's on the.
So this is my okay. So this is my cursor, right? And then live share. Oh, live share doesn't work here. So
No.
I would just open code.
Well, you're entering untested
Oh
territories.
yeah. Let me open it somewhere else. Oh,
More
okay. I can just do
secretly.
this.
Much better.
Yeah, but like, okay. So update is ready to install. Don't install it right now. So here I can do live share, and
And I would be able to just join you and.
yes, yeah. So I'm gonna send it to you over Slack. The
But we're
live share
doing.
link.
By the way, we are doing that next time.
You can come in this time as well. Okay, so this is it.
Great.
So
And now, if you could ask Cursor to turn it into a pizza. Damn, I could eat a pizza. Although
me
actually,
too. I love
actually,
a pizza right now.
now I would like to eat ice cream more, I think.
Okay, something is happening. What?
That's a nice pizza.
That's a great pizza, actually.
Even with 2 slices ready for us.
So, I'm gonna say add more pepperoni.
No, create a button to
Look,
dynamically add
I'll
and
add more pepperoni slices to make your pizza even more delicious.
no,
This is so cool.
ask him to make a button to add and remove pepperoni.
Buttons to add and remove pepperoni.
Make a buttons. So it will modify the state to
Yeah.
dynamically.
That's cool.
It should have also a like state with array with randomly generated positions for pepperonis. These are my guesses. So then we can say, oh, it's Kevin is a professional. He knew
In making
how to
pizzas in React Native.
yeah, he knew how to implement that, and AI just followed through.
Yeah, you are correct. Pepperoni's positions
But
are getting generated right now.
And there are predefined pepperoni positions, so we start with some ready to go. And I bet that there will be a function that iterates over the pepperoni position. Although, myself, I would make pepperoni positions a state. Now, I'm not sure if it will work. But we are working with Skia, which I also have no idea how it works under the hood, so maybe it will work. Oh, it's taking all of the pepperonis you mentioned.
What? But this is like so long. I hate when my AI is slower than I could code this.
I mean, would you be faster coding that?
Yeah.
I mean, like moments like that are kind of annoying because I know exactly how to code that.
Yeah.
But there are so many.
This one is easy, right?
But there are so many annoying steps, like
Well,
making
I
a small function that will create randomly picked pepperoni spots, and then make a button, make a function, pass the function, and I work in this damn industry for so long now that I wouldn't be able to write a code that isn't like, a proper code, like a clean code. This would have to be wrapped in use callbacks and
No, I don't mind writing rubbish code.
I don't know. I'm like, whenever I push myself to, like, I actually have to push myself to write not clean code. Yeah, it's using all of the predefined pepperonis.
Where are we right now?
We are streaming, Łukasz, just so you know. It's hot here as well.
Mean, where are we in this? Like, how many?
Well, you wanted more pepperonis. What can I say? It gives you.
But I want to add like pepperoni with the button click.
Well, apparently one does not add.
Do you know that some of those are mushrooms as well?
Yeah,
so
of course.
The two white spots are mushrooms.
And there are some jalapenos, the peppers.
Green peppers, yeah.
I'm interested. What is the darker
Olives?
green stuff?
Olives.
Oh, olives. Yeah, makes sense. Well, this pizza is very like centric. Grzegorz suggested so you can like
stop it and fix your prompt.
Fix the prompt.
So I should be more descriptive in my prompt. I should do a better job talking with AI.
I'd say so, yeah. Because now it generated salamis for a state.
I want
to have a button that will dynamically add pizza slices. Pepperoni randomly on the pizza, and the button to...
two buttons that we dynamically add and remove pepperonis from the pizza. Let's try again.
Why does it still... Why does it...
No, but I mean, like, this is faster now. So this will be faster.
Oh,
but how many pepperonis will it create?
No, because, oh, god damn it. Stop that.
But why is it creating like 100 pepperonis?
Stop that. Add randomly. The same stuff, but add and remove pepperonis randomly.
That will
randomly and dynamically, because it creates an array with all of the possible positions for pepperonis.
All possible positions.
Yes, it was creating all of the.
This is again the same.
No.
Okay.
It finished.
But like it goes much faster now.
Yeah, and now it should like properly.
Okay. Oof.
Ooh, ooh,
Nice.
nice. Oh, it even handles the case. Yeah, see, now it works.
I love it. I love it.
Yadwinder, hello. Good to see you here. Yadwinder.
I love working. Love working with Skia. And this
See,
is
I
so
told you,
awesome.
like playing around with canvas and
Yeah.
learning those like rendering and drawing libraries. It's basically creates like sorry, I got blocked in
Well,
my
we've
brain.
been streaming for more than 2 hours, so
Yeah.
you can feel this way. I'm drinking my like Monster energy drink. So
I started with the coffee and
yeah.
no,
Hey,
actually,
it is
Yadwinder,
completely created
it's
using
no,
SVGs.
it's created using Skia.
This is
and-
Skia, man.
Yeah. So under the hood, it uses canvas and uses calculations to draw the pepperonis. So it's being drawn with the canvas component.
So I'm gonna pat my AI on the back. Great job.
Oh, that's lovely.
And then I'm gonna say, thank you, I'm glad you like the interactive pizza. It was fun It was fun transforming your simple Skia canvas into a dynamic interactive pizza experience.
Pizza experience. Nice.
Okay, Kevin, I think we can wrap it up on this. Like, this is the fun topic to wrap it up on. I think
See,
I'm gonna...
that Łukasz, Yadwinder. Sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. We'll try this. You know what we just did? You know how is it called?
It's influencing.
Oh my God, you said it. We are influencers.
Yeah.
We influenced one person to check out amazing, fun technology and play around with that. So if you will create another amazing interactive pizza experience that will make you millions, you can send me back 6 cents we spent on OpenAI today.
Cool. I want to wrap this up right now.
Oh, I thought
So-
you want to switch the topic, but I'm okay. I'm
Switch
okay.
the topic. Well, this is
I don't-
such a
I
fun
don't-
topic
I don't-
to end on.
Yeah, I do agree. The pizza experience was
Yeah.
very fun. I don't
So-
want to also keep you
Next
longer
week
here
we'll
because
play
it's-
around with something else again, something
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
as well.
yeah. So, dear people hidden in the comments, people who are just listening and not participating, it was fun having you here. Nonetheless, I'm very nice. So with React Native and animations, yeah, React Native and this is like then play around also with 3JS. It's for
I'm
Awesome.
I'm slowly
fading away. Yeah.
fading you away, Kevin.
So
Thank you.
but wait, I'm just saying my final goodbyes to everyone.
Okay.
It was great having you here. Thank you for being with us. We will be trying to also be here in next week, right?
Yep.
So be sure to follow us on X or on YouTube or anywhere. Either just Callstack. Me personally, I'm at Kewin. It's Q1W1N. And Łukasz is at Łukasz underscore app. The app as app. It was great having you here. Join us next time. But until then, be on the lookout for cool new stuff, cool new technologies. If you have something you'd like to talk about as well next time, when you plan the next live or
We're
is it
gonna be
random?
here next week. on
Yes.
Thursday,
Yes, most probably. If anything will change, we will inform you
or
on
Wednesday.
those.
Actually, next week it will be Wednesday. But like we will let you know. Just follow us on
Yeah,
Twitter or X or like whatever else. We will be here next week, definitely.
yeah. So it was very fun. It was great having all of you here. It was great having you here, Łukasz, as always. Great pleasure. And yeah, that's it for today. Join us next time for some more fun, some more experience, and more interactive
Whoa.
pizza experiences.
Look at this comment that we are just like sharing right now on the screen. So this is like wordplay here from Jadwinder. When
Yeah, I know.
you will plan the next live, or is it the random like these toppings?
Yeah, on the pizza.
Toppings, man, on the
Yeah,
pizza.
yeah. I'm looking for the wordplay. That's quite blunt
Well,
and straightforward.
When I first read it, like, is it the random like these topics? Meaning like random topics.
Oh,
But
sorry.
this is toppings.
Yeah, like the pizza
Oh,
toppings.
That's such a nice comment. Thank you so much. We will
Yeah.
be here next week. And we will be just as random as today. I
Yeah, most
promise.
probably. Unless we'll plan something. But remember, you listeners have also a great impact on what we talk about and where we drive
Oh
our
yeah,
conversation
just
and
join
fun.
the comments and like let us know what you want to discuss.
Exactly. But let us take a huge break, eat something cold, get a cold shower, small walk, because now it's not as hot as it was before. And yeah, thank you. It was fun.
Thanks. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.